This has been probably the hardest thing on Zwift I've ever done. All right, everybody, here we are, stage 5, another individual time trial. If I can do this in under an hour, we'll count that as a win. However, I have felt like crud on a stick all day long. People don't watch my channel because I'm good. People watch my channel because I don't give up. So we're gonna keep it consistent with that and not give up. So we'll see at the finish line. Not gonna do a whole lot of talking. I do want to thank you for tuning in though. This has been probably the hardest thing on Zwift I've ever done. All right, here we go. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I'm not the best with the steady state efforts. I'm not the best at individual time trials or time trials of any sort. This is really the second time I've ever done it. The first time was just the other day. So I started out a little more conservative. I knew I was shooting for an hour. So what power can I hold for 60 minutes and kind of going off that. And I realized on this first uphill portion, as I was in like 70th place, I was like, you know what? I can do more power than this. So I really stepped on it up this hill, made up a lot of positions. Now, to my knowledge, again, it's very limited. It's not based on position, it's based on time. I wasn't really playing the time game. I was shooting to do it sub 60 minutes. But to me, I don't know, I'm a little bit more competitive. I try to beat other people as often as I can. But also in the time trials, there's no draft. So it doesn't really matter, but to even see other people, for me, visually really helps. And that was what I was working on. I really wanted to at least see other people, stay with the group, even if there is no draft. So I was pushing. I mean, it is a very punchy route. You're going to have to push on some of these like sustained 9% grades that this route has. And it was very difficult. It was very challenging. And no draft, no power-ups definitely helps out with the challenge of the Flamme Rouge racing tour that this is. So now I didn't really, because we didn't start from banner to banner, there's no actual segment on this. I don't know my exact power. I don't know my exact time on lap 1. We do know that we do know for sure it's sub 20 minutes, which is good. It's what we're shooting for. 3 laps, give or take 20 minutes for each one. And we're shooting for that sub 1 hour mark. So we're going to skip ahead at this point. And go to lap 2. Pot bank hill climb, which is very gnarly, takes all the momentum you had going into it and just zaps it, and you got nothing. But I was putting out some solid power because I wanted to start closing some gaps. We're on lap 2. I'm feeling pretty good overall. My heart rate was actually pretty manageable. Sure, it got up to 180 a couple of times. But that's okay. It wasn't crazy. I wasn't blowing up entirely. Pretty under wraps for the power I was doing. And again, on this route in particular, there's some very punchy climbs and some longer sustained efforts, but you do get some pretty good chances of recovery like this right here. Slight decline or pretty flat. And I really wanted to, on the -1, -2, even on the flats, try to keep the power up as best I could. But you're also pretty exhausted from days of racing prior, from the lap prior, the hill you just did, whatever. So I was really trying to keep the power up as best I could. So I do finish up lap 2 with a time of 19 minutes, 51 seconds and a blistering power of 249 watts. So definitely lower than what I wanted. I think a lot of that had to do with the slight declines, and it was hard to keep the power up on the flats as well, not gonna lie to you. So let's take a look at lap 3, how I did with this and how I close up the second and final individual time trial. Let's take a look at this here. Going around, and I still have some gaps to close, and I was definitely making it my goal to see if I could close in on the guy in front of me, and just doing my best here to hold on and keep the steady power,
but also this long hill is super long and it's steep. And how long can you hold 300 watts when you're 45 minutes in? And so I'm really trying to dig as much as I can. And every now and then I'd look up, I'd see the power is kind of dipped, and I'd kind of spike it up. And I'm trying not to do intervals. I'm trying to keep it pretty consistent as best I can. I'm trying to recover on these downhills as best I can, but also not recover too much because you want to put the power out because there's no draft, there's nothing. So, gosh, dude, it was very challenging. And again, I'm not accustomed to this kind of stuff. I don't know if it would have been better if it was a race and I had other people to work with, but got one guy here, closing in on him, and I'm hopeful because it's less than 5 miles. I'm closing in on that 60 minutes. I do have my work cut out for me for sure, but I really want to beat that. That's a time I had set, and I'm in 33rd out of 84. So in the standings, I'm feeling pretty good about my standings. If I can beat one or two more people, sweet. I feel really good about that. But my goal for this, especially being the individual time trial, is simply beating that 1 hour mark. So here we come to Pot Bank Climb, and this is either going to make or break a lot. And I don't know where this came from, but I dug out 350 watts for some time. It really seemed so. Dude, look at that power. I was actually pretty proud of that. 50 minutes into this thing, pass a couple guys, feel good, but I'm also like, oh, hello, 180 heart rate. Good to see you again. And furthermore, I need to keep the power down as it levels out. This is where it's going to struggle, which is why these two guys, the one passes me, the other one comes right up to me. So can I beat this guy? Can I close this gap? He's got 1 second on me. I'm keeping pretty good power overall, not dipping too much, keeping it around that FTP 270-ish. But he's gonna open that up a little bit in the last 2 miles. It's been a while since I've watched his back. I kind of want to play it through and see how I do. Oh, I do pass him. I do pass him on this last hill. Can I bury him? I get a 2 second gap on him. It looks like he starts to level out for me. Here he comes around me, and he's gone. I don't remember. I don't think I closed that down. Oh, yeah, no. 6 seconds. Yeah, forget that. He got me there. But I do want to take a look at lap number 3, power and everything. 19 minutes, 43 seconds. Pretty good. That was my best lap of the 3. Blistering power of 253 watts. Okay, nothing too crazy, but I'll take it.
59 minutes, 16 seconds. Beat that hour mark.
32nd overall in my heat. Time of 59 minutes, 15 seconds. I want to draw your attention to the 271 normalized power. Pretty proud of that. That's about my FTP actually. So, and to do that for an hour is pretty cool. So, got that one done. And now on to the next one. Let's get it done.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on this sweet tour. I hope it inspires you like someone once inspired me. Ollie, thank you. Appreciate it. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, hit that like button, drop a word of encouragement down in the comments. I really appreciate it. I love creating an encouraging environment, and thank you for taking part in it. So drop a word of encouragement, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned. I'm going to have the next stage here in the next day or so. Follow me on Strava, follow me on Zwift, all the socials in the link in the description. Guys, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.